So in this video, I'm going to share with you how I use RIGHTMOVE to find deals. If you've been told if a property's on RIGHTMOVE, you're too late, it's absolute BS, especially if you're a deal sourcer. I've sold tons of deals on RIGHTMOVE. Have a watch of this video here because I show you exactly how I sell it to investors for deals from RIGHTMOVE, but that's not for this video here. I'm just going to show you me find the deals on this video. So let's just dive straight in. But before we do that, if you can hit that like button, it really helped the page. So look, I'm Harvey, remote property investor, and as I said, I've sold loads of deals remotely to investors, all are sitting on RIGHTMOVE. It explains it on that video like I suggested. But first of all, you need to find these deals. So I've been investing since 2009, and since 2015-16 been deal sourcing, done hundreds of deals, and predominant amount of them have been sitting on RIGHTMOVE. And as I said, we explain how you can sell those in the other video, but let's show you how you can find those first of all. So open up RIGHTMOVE. RIGHTMOVE is my favorite, but look on them all. On the market, Zoopla, very similar technique that you use for them. If you go into buying property, I invest remotely in Stockton-on-Tees. So if you're interested in that, DM me in the comments. We can help you with that, either guide you how to do that or help you find properties. We've got a sourcing department. If you want guidance, it can be anywhere around the country. Go onto properties for sale, type in your area. So let's type in my area, Stockton-on-Tees. That's that there. And what I typically do here is I'll look for a search radius. So I keep it about 5 miles first of all, but then if there's no properties coming up, I will spread that a little bit further out. I do encourage you to stick to one location. So I'll go 5, maybe 10 miles out, as I said. Price range, look, in my area, I know anything around 50, 60K, 50K is no good. So I'm looking at 60K upwards. You might want to eliminate the lower ones out. Sometimes I put that in, sometimes I don't. I don't have a minimum bedroom, but I do have a property type. So here I put houses. On the app, it's slightly different. And as you go further into the page, you can slightly edit this again. At the start, if you're new to a location, put any time. But if you're looking at this every day, you'd put in the last 24 hours. Or if you're looking at every 3 days, you put in the last 3 days. And do that relevant to you. I do like to put in subject, include offer subject to contract, because you see what's selling, and some of the stuff that sells sometimes does come back to the market. So up the top here, you can put in a few extra search stuff here. So if we go here, we can then put in lower price, newest or oldest. I often go lowest, but sometimes I want to see what's new to the market as well. So I might go on newest, but I often go from the lowest upwards to see what's on the market here. You can add keywords here. So I could go on to here and put in refurb. I find these keywords are not the greatest, but they do help. And you put on refurbishment. So if that's in one of the descriptions in there, or it will start putting those out. But we'll go back here onto lowest price first of all. So I'm looking for the lowest price in the area. We're starting at 60K. So when I'm looking at these deals here, what I'm predominantly looking for, I like ex-local authority for single let stuff, but look at the stuff that you know sells in your area and sells well. So I'm going to jump on any particular one. So I'm going to go through the stock. I'm going to want to speak to every single agent. So when I'm looking at these, there's no photos for these two here. This one's got a few photos. Let's have a quick look through here. This is a I've actually got 3 properties on this estate. So this is a style property I typically buy. There's no pictures inside, so it makes it a little bit harder when you're doing it remotely. So let's look at this one here. Let's have a look on the inside. So I'm looking for property that needs a little bit of work. Not major work, just a little bit of work. Usually something from like 5 to 15K is the ideal sort of work that I'm looking for it to need. So forget this is sold subject to contract. Let's just have a look at these. What I will then do is I will jump on here. I'll have a look a little bit closer at these pictures. I have it linked to property data. So in the comments below, I'll give you a link that gives you a 2-week free trial to property data. It's not getting the data up here, but often it is on the side. Also, what I've got it linked to is Google Chrome plugin property tracker. This here tells me any price adjustments, telling me there's been none. When it's blue like that, there's been none. If we go back off of here, it takes a second sometimes to load on the page. You can see that this has got blue. There's no price adjustments on these ones. But if we go further down, we can see this one's been reduced in price. It's a great sign to see a property's been reduced in price. So let's jump back into this one instead of going back to the other one. I like these ex-local authorities. On the side, it usually tells me the data, but for some reason it's not logging me in. But it'll give you some local data on there. Then the first thing I'm doing is I'm looking at conditions. So this here in pretty good condition. Kitchen looks decent, property looks decent enough to rent. So I'm looking at the condition and I want to work backwards on what is the end value and how much work does it need to do to get it to the end value. So what I'm going to do is go down here below here and I'm going to look at sale history. So you have a look when it was last sold first of all, then I'll go on recent sold prices. So you want to go in sold prices and under offer. So under offer is not as relevant because it's just the asking price. Sold prices tell you the asking price. So this tells me within 0.1 miles a property sold for 100k. Another similar style property sold for 70k in July 2022. In September 2022, at time of recording this, September and July 2022 is really the peak of the market. Although this end of the market hasn't dropped massively, it was still peak, so I'm going to be a little bit cautious on the end value. So I'm going to look at the end values, I'm going to look at what work needs doing to it, and then I'm going to work backwards on what I could pay for it. So say the example was 100k and I thought this needed 10k work doing to it to get up to speed. It tells me if I'm into it 70k, that means I'm getting a 30% discount. It tells me how much I can pay for these properties. What I do as well is because often most properties will be overpriced. So that one's sold. Anything that's priced right is going to be sold. So most things, what I'm looking for is not necessarily property that stacks up on paper. I'm just looking at stuff that looks like it needs a bit of work to it, because the reason it wouldn't have sold, and stuff again what's been sitting on the market, so looking over here for a period of time, and what I'm going to do is put that into my pipeline. I use a CRM system called Go High Level. Again, if you want a free trial of Go High Level, in the description below I'll give you a free trial of Go High Level for £1. You can have a free little period of trial. That also gives you access to a community of deal sourcers and investors and so forth. Have a look through that if you want to try it out. But what I will do is I will look for property like this one that's a little bit dated, and ultimately I would think to myself, okay, that's a little bit dated. It needs a new bathroom, new kitchen. At a quick glance and experience, I'm looking at that thinking this needs 15k on the property spending. So down here, I'm going to then try and figure out what the end value are of these properties. So 76k. So obviously I'm not going to pay 60k for a property that needs 15k spending on it. So that will go into my CRM system and follow-up system. And then I will put a little save next to this. So at the top here, you can put the heart on there and save these properties. One of the things I would also do as well is when you check these here, this is in a terrible area by the way, so don't go off and try and buy this property, but I'm just showing you what I'm doing when I'm searching, not what I am actually searching for. What I will do though is to check, I'd go in house prices, Google, I would copy and paste the address, and I go into sold prices, because here will tell you some different sold prices to what actually tells you underneath the listing. And if you go on the app, it tells you different ones from what it tells you under the listing and then what it tells you here. Then also what I would do is I go into property data and cross-reference the different comparable prices. You need to check across multiple platforms, because these are algorithms that drags the information together, and not all of them are highly accurate. So you just want to get as much information on comparables as possible. And again, we can see on here, you can see some more recent stuff or older stuff, not much is sold there. So this is pretty much how I use Rightmove daily. Just do it consistently, build out a pipeline. If you look at 5 to 10 deals that don't actually stack, that need work, and then put them in a pipeline, keep following up, follow what I told you to do on the other video, then deals will slowly start coming through into your pipeline, which you can sell on to investors, sell the deals onto investors, use that money to build your own portfolio. This is exactly what I did. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and that bell icon if you're still here. It really helps the channel. If you found that useful, please share it to somebody else you think will find it useful. My why is to live on my terms. My mission is to help as many people live on their terms, using property as a vehicle to do that. So if you can share that, it'd be amazing. But remember, if you don't evolve your ideas, you'll never live on your own terms. So evolve your ideas, live on your own terms, have an amazing day, and make sure you watch this video here that YouTube is suggesting you would like.